This 9 Kings guide is all about how to beat King difficulty with the King of Stone, and it is much advised that you level up the King of Stone to level 9 for all of the perk points. For your perks, you'll be using 3 Impervious because we want a lot of walls when we die. Tactician for an extra tower card. We level up Warden twice because the stronghold damage, that's our main source of damage, we'll be buffing that up. Expansionist because we will not have enough room for all the things we'll be building. And Ingenious because we want to level the castle up as hard as possible. This, testing with this with and without it, the damage, this is a massive, massive damage increase. So early game, you want your stronghold to be in the absolute center. You want to surround this with buff buildings from whatever cards you get. You want to prioritize tower buffs and mass expanding. So as you can see here, we have an Earthworks card and a Quarry card. So immediately what I want to do is put a Quarry down and then expand so I have as much land open as possible. And I want to prioritize tower buffs, and the Quarry is going to buff damage, and we need a lot of damage. And then we have a Trebuchet as well, and a Dispenser, though Dispenser is a really bad tower to get, unless you get Scapegoats, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to put that down, and then our tower, our stronghold is already level 3, so the early game is very, very easy, and again, we want to prioritize leveling up the stronghold and beefing it up as much as possible, so always pick those types of cards. If you get early game cards that you can't use, don't reroll yet because we want to save our money for better Royal Decrees. Just pick something that can soak damage, like Wizards. Alright, so Royal Decrees. Alright, so for the Royal Decrees, you have so many options. This is very flexible. Anything that gives you a tower buff is amazing. Anything that gives you additional building buff procs is also really good. And you just pick whatever. So in this case, I have Bunker or Tower Dome. Now, higher DPS, Tower Dome is going to be better. If you have a lot of towers, then Bunker technically would be better for like an endless mode. But I'm just going to, we're just beating King mode. So I went Tower Dome for that 50% build speed on our Stronghold. For Blessings, you don't have to play around Blessings. Just ignore them for the most part. Yeah, you can put a tower wherever this is. If you want double damage, but it's random every time. Now, when drawing cards also, don't forget that you want things that give you tempo, especially from King of Progression. He's got really useful cards. It can really level up your entire board. So I got Offering here. I can drop a Wizard down and then offer it up on another turn. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Just throw a Wizard down and then delete them later. Also, another thing, instead of combining buildings like, having a level 2 blacksmith here, it is more ideal to have as many level 1 buildings as possible because we are a mass building civilization king, I guess. And so the more buildings, the better, especially if we get the Royal Decree that doubles down on their uses, but also because, we're just going to mass level up the whole board. So it's better to place down the level 1s than to just have a single level 2. When choosing a king to wage war against, here is the easiest to hardest, starting with Progress, which you should always fight Progress no matter what, because when you fight a king, you get access to their cards, and Progress has the best cards for our build. Now, he's also the easiest to kill with towers. Nature is really easy, Blood is easy, however, nothing gets a little tanky. Greed and Spells have high damage. Greed will immediately backdoor your walls, and then rush in and capture your citadel. So you don't want that to happen, or stronghold, I guess. And spells have huge tankiness and huge DPS, which means they break your walls a lot faster than the other kings do. Just a pro tip, Cauldron can affect your stronghold. However, if you fully spec into Cauldrons, like you have 4 Cauldrons surrounding your stronghold, and you have like 8 times the poison procs, it still sucks. Now, poison can crit, and even with crit, it still sucks. There is no game or world where this build can use Cauldrons correctly, so just never choose Cauldron. Another note is overinvest is really useful at the late in-game, but early game, it does not help you that much. Now, once you lose your first life, you're going to get a full inventory of walls. So, also, it's time to shop. We got a beacon there. Very good. All right. And so we're going to go ahead and just put a beacon there. And look at all of the walls we have. And here's how you want to do your walls. You just want to occupy as much space as possible with level 1 walls. And when you have no more space at all, that's when you start leveling the walls up on the outer rim. And the inner ones you can sacrifice to level up things around them. There's so many things you can use with these level 1 walls. But we still have 2 more lives. And if we die again, we get another round of walls. So this is why we want to really open up as many tiles as possible. And so to do that, if you happen to get a hand with mostly stone cards, that means when you re-roll, you will mostly get stone cards. And you want to re-roll for expansions. And I didn't get it on the first one, and I don't want to spend too much money. So I'm just going to pick a wall card there and yeah, place one down. And again, we're beefing right now. We are very beefy, but we could be beefier. And you can see here that just with a single buff, and we're about to get one in like 2 or 3 turns, this is more than enough to kill everything coming at us on King difficulty. For blood cards, the only really good one is Sacrifice. Let's see if I get it. Nope, but I still have Stronghold to level up. And when you choose where you want to expand to, you want to make sure that you pick a tile that if you use an expansion card, you can open up 2 tiles. So if I expand here and I use an expansion tile like card, I would only open up that one. But if I go here, then I could open up both of these. So you want to just keep that in mind. Another tip is if you can choose between the Stronghold card and another tower card, the Stronghold card is the highest DPS one, especially for our build. So always choose it over any other tower. All right, it's time for more Royal Decrees, and I want something tower related, so I'm going to re-roll these 3. And we have another tower one here. Stronghold can build twice as fast and increase attack speed of towers by 50%. I don't have a lot of towers other than the Stronghold, so Tower Dome is the better choice. Now I have 2 Tower Domes. So yeah, we're really going to be nuking. And right now, I don't have a lot of open tiles. I only have this one. I can throw a wizard down, or I can throw a wall down. And again, we're going to sacrifice these later whenever I get cards that will eat these. But for now, they make nice meat, and they also bunch up all the units here into a ball so that they're not automatically attacking the wall. They didn't even reach the wall. And you could always steel coat them if you want them to be extra tanky, but in this case, I would rather use a reroll and get something better. Didn't look like I get it, so I guess I'm going with the steel coat for now. Now, if you want to know the max level of your Stronghold, if you mouse over it, you'll see 4 little diamonds underneath. 3 of them have a symbol, and then 1 has a +5. When it reaches +6, that is maximum level. So there we go. We just hit the +6. Stronghold is completely fully leveled up. And this is what that looks like when it's not really that buffed yet. It's got a couple, tower domes, but again, it's still mopping the floor with everything. But this is just the beginning. All right, so now we have an offering card, so we can get rid of some garbage cards on the map. And we can also overhaul some of these level 1 walls if I want to. There's a lot of plays I can make here. All right, so the play that I want to make is I'm going to clone the beacon, and then I'm going to overhaul the wall here. There we go. And then I'm going to put a beacon next to the Stronghold. So the Stronghold has 2 blacksmiths and 2 beacons. Very, very cool. We can go ahead and just use Procreate on these wizards since they have the iron sheet metal thing that makes them immune to damage. Look, this is a very tanky fight. Look how fast they melt. It's and these walls will hold for quite a while. I still have another life. I can get another round of walls. Everything is it's pretty good right now. All right, it is the 3rd Royal Decree. None of these are what we need. Neither is this. We got Bunker. There we go. Bunker 50% increased attack speed on towers, which it does increase the Strongholds hits per second, but it's not 50%. It's like a lesser number. I don't know how it's calculated, but we're getting pretty late into the years here, so I can actually spin this over invest if I want, or I can sacrifice like this building to level all of these 3 up. There's a lot of little plays I can make here. Maybe I sacrifice this dispenser since it's not really pulling its weight. I think I do that. That way I 2 buff buildings got leveled and our walls got a little bit stronger. So check out how much damage we're dealing now. They just die. They just melt. They're gone in seconds. Now, when you get the chance to make peace with an enemy king, you definitely want to pick the stronger one. So see you later spells. Alright, so our last Royal Decree, I don't have enough gold to re-roll any of these. And this would buff the trebuchet, and 10% reflect is pretty good on kings because the enemies deal lots and lots of damage. I don't need move speed, so we'll just go with reflect. Why not? Got an earthworks here. We can. There's not a whole lot where I can expand around to. Let's see. Yeah, here's one. There we go. All right, go ahead and put that back. And again, I still have 2 lives, so if I die for some reason, I get like another 6 walls I can chunk down and then mass level those up. So here's Scapegoat. If you get this early game with a dispenser, it's a free instant win no matter what you're playing. So here's the fight before the final boss. You can see they just evaporate instantly. We're a little too overpowered at this point. It doesn't matter what we pick. We can, and there's really nothing to sacrifice here. Like everything's level 3 that's touching other things. Let's see. I could sacrifice that wall and make this quarry level 2. That's really the only thing I can do there. I lose a wall, but I gain 2% damage, but 2% of 700 is quite a lot when multiplied by how these towers attack and work. But yeah, there we go. They're just instantly dead. And now for the final fight. Wild card, is there anything we could level up at all? I don't know. Some walls or something? We can level up the beacon there. There we go. Don't need a cemetery. There's nothing to even attach to that. And Carnage, why not just put them on the wizards? Sure, doesn't really matter at this point. Whoever we fight is instantly dead. Check it out. This 1,000 damage on the stronghold. Look, this is the tankiest fight in the game. The tankiest fight, instantly dead. Instantly dead. It's over. They're dead. And just to prove that we're on king mode, here it is. Here's the difficulty. Here's all the stats if you care. And yeah, that's it. It's real easy to play King of Stone. It's just Tower Defense 101, really. And again, I only died once. If I died again, I get another round of super walls. And if I had King of Progress, then all those walls would be level 3. So it makes it really, like, the enemy has to sit here and bang on this wall for like 30 whole seconds, while this tower just chews them apart. They're not going to survive. It's one of the easier kings to play on king difficulty. Anyway, leave a comment, leave a like, I guess. Let me know what you think, and click the video on the right side of your screen. And if you do, you're going to have like one of those really satisfying like joint pops. And no, not like a drug, not like a joint that you smoke, but like the joints in your bones are going to go pop, and you're going to feel good.